Hello, my name is Danny Barnes, Assistant Athletic Director for Communications at Point Loma Nazarene University. We're going to start a new series today where we take you through a series where the professor interviews the student athlete. Starting with us today, we have Dr. Brad Kelle, Professor of Old Testament and Hebrew Studies at Point Loma. We also have with us senior men's basketball player, Ben Okhotin. Brad, take us away.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Ben. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So just so everybody knows, the purpose of these brief Q&As and stuff is to get to know our student athletes a little bit around the student athlete experience, kind of emphasis on the student. So we're talking a little bit, not so much about the basketball end of it for Ben, but what's it like to be a student athlete and trying to negotiate all of that, especially, and part of the reason we're doing this is PLNU is a university where our student athletes take real classes in real time in the real semester, and they work hard. So we want to explore a little bit of that together. So Ben, maybe we'll start you with something easy here. What's your major, and what do you kind of hope to do vocationally, beyond basketball?
I'm a finance major. I've always found it interesting, and I've had people around me, like friends and family, like uncles, and my brother's a finance major as well. I've always found that interesting. And vocationally, I'm interested in like financial planning, financial advising industries, and kind of going into that. That's always been something that I've been fascinated by. So that's kind of the plan right now. Obviously, it could shift. Going through stuff in classes, and I've always thought corporate finance and things like that was interesting too. But right now, financial planning and financial advising, like that's kind of what I'm planning to do in the future.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, somebody told me that you come from a Russian background, Russian descent. Is that true? You don't speak Russian, do you?
I do. I fluent in it. I read and write in Russian. And
all right. You got to say something cool in Russian for. I wish can you say like sea lions rule or something? Like, is that a Russian thing?
I never knew how to translate sea lions into Russian, but
fair enough. Give us something in Russian for fun.
Привет, меня зовут Веня. Я учусь здесь в Point Loma. Basically, just said, hi, my name is Ben, and I'm a student at Point Loma.
I love it. You mentioned your brother. One of the unique elements of your experience as a student athlete is you had a brother who went to PLNU, played basketball at PLNU. So question, what, if anything, did you learn or take away from kind of watching your brother go through the experience of trying to be a college student athlete that is kind of, stuck with you in some way?
Well, I learned that it was hard. I learned that it was, from him, that it was a lot of work. And the way he did it I really looked up to him, the way he did it. I also learned from him how Point Loma was a special place, and I wanted to go here really badly after seeing him go through it. I loved going to games. I loved just everything about the school. Not only my brother went to Point Loma, but my aunt and my uncle both went to Point Loma in the past like 10 to 15 years. So I've been around the campus for a good part of my life. It's a special place. Sam's experience was he worked for everything. He kind of taught me how to work hard. He was a great student, better student than I am, but I'm trying to get there. And he worked his butt off in the gym too. So that's kind of what I took away from him, was the importance of working, and he always gives me hints and pointers on how to maximize it. What he really taught me was how important time management is, and I thought that I was ready for that, but like my first year at Westmont and my first year here, and it really is different than you can really prepare for. So I mean that's basically that. You're probably going to ask more questions along those lines, but I feel like
very good. Quick question: who's the better shooter, you or your brother?
I mean, the percentages say him. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, only one.
A few years, but I'm going to bet on myself on that. I think
I like it. Well, I watched him and I watched you, so talk to me off air. We'll talk about who's the better shooter. Anyway, now you mentioned something there that's another unique element of your experience as a student athlete. You began your college career at another school that you mentioned, but we won't repeat their name. And then you saw the light and decided you wanted to compete for national championships and stuff, and so you came to Point Loma. So you're a transfer student. So what is that like, navigating, having to transfer academically from one institution to another? How was that in terms of being a student athlete?
It was difficult. It was really difficult, but I think I got lucky, luckier than most transfer students, in the fact that they're very similar schools. I think they're a bit smaller. Westmont's a bit smaller. Point Loma's, but I think they're both very, very like Christian schools, very private, like small number of students, similar classes, similar professors, like what's important to them. So I think that adjustment wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was definitely still an adjustment, but I think I adjusted pretty quick. What helped a lot was building the relationships with my new teammates, with professors, kind of getting a grasp, having resources like my brother and even his teammates, like guys that I could just talk to. Just the people around me really made that a lot easier than it probably would have been for other transfer people. So I found a home here right away. I became guys like Caden, Brock, Frank, guys that came in with me like in that class, even though they were freshmen and I was sophomores. I instantly became brothers with them, and guys like Dalton, Sterling, like those guys made it really easy to transition. So I think the fact that the team was really special, and the professors are so accommodating and nice, and were nice to me since day one, and the fact that it was similar at Westmont, those three factors really made it easier than I thought it would be.
Good, thanks. Quick question. Better place to live, Santa Barbara, where Westmont is, or Point Loma, Ocean Beach?
That's the easiest question I've ever received. It's absolutely San Diego. It's not
obvious. It's obvious, right? Okay, one more question about the unique part of your experience. Another thing that's unique to you as a student athlete, you are married. In fact, recently married this past summer, right? About that? This past summer? Yeah. So, okay, so I didn't realize it's kind of new. Maybe it's too early to tell. But what does that do to the experience of trying to be a student athlete?
I mean, right now with school being online, and my wife, she works. She's a teacher. It's not much different. I think I'm lucky in the fact that she's really like gets along really well with all of my friends. Like I see my teammates all the time, like that. I mean, under the circumstances that I can, and school being online, it's not much different than it would have been. Obviously it's different, and I know people won't, I guess, like, it's hard to understand, but for me personally, I haven't like noticed that big of a change. I mean, it's great being married. I don't know how else to say.
You recommend it. You recommend it. It's okay. Very good.
A lot of fun with my best friend, but the school side of it hasn't changed much. I take care of what I'm supposed to take care of. I take care of my business. From 8 to 4, whenever I have class, I get homework done. I get school done. I just do what I can, and I think I'm doing a good job staying on top of it. And I mean, it's been great.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on that, by the way. All right, so I got a series of quick response questions here. Just gonna throw a bunch of them at you off the top of your head and see how you do. Okay, here we go. Ready? Favorite class or type of class to take during the season?
I would say, I mean, the classes I'm most interested in are my major classes. And out of those, whichever ones don't have a ton of homework.
Okay. Okay. Follow up. Toughest class or type of class to take during the season?
I think the finance classes are tough. Just the homework side of it, I mean, great classes. I'm not saying they're definitely not the worst class. They're the best classes because I learned so much. But the homework class, like the homework in that class, the Excel problems that take up to like 30 minutes to an hour to do, like those are overwhelming when like right after practice or whenever.
Okay, I'm just letting the record reflect. He did not say biblical studies as worst classes today. Okay, another one. Do you study on road trips?
Yes, I do. I try to get my work done before, but it's pretty like when we're gone Wednesday through Saturday in the Bay or something like that, or Hawaii for a week. You have to, or else
Okay.
you fall behind.
We're going to see if we can get you in trouble now. Or maybe not. Maybe make you some friends. Best teammate to go to for help with classes?
No Stapes.
Okay.
The resourceful guy. He's a resourceful guy. He's been here for about 15 years, so he's taken every class.
That's so true, actually. I had hair when he started playing here. Okay, you know what's coming. Worst teammate to go to for help with classes? Let's go. Put somebody on blast.
Caden Anderson.
Okay. All right. Maybe a more serious question now. As you think, we'll round it out with a couple last ones here. What do you know now about being a student athlete that you wish you had known when you started that journey?
I would say relationship building. I think I've tried to do it, but the more you can't. There's no amount of like you can't get enough of it really. Like there's no level that you reach of it. You just have to keep doing it. I would have been more kind of like starting the initiative kind of more of meeting professors and people around Point Loma more. I feel like than I did, and working hard. Really, I think I've done that, but again, there's always more work to be done, and you're just putting yourself in a place you can succeed. Like if you come in from day one and just be really open, honest, hardworking, and be a good communicator, build relationships, because those never hurt. Those only help if you do it the right way. So I think those things are important. I think that I haven't changed my perspective too much. I think I had those thoughts in mind when I started, but I don't think it could be overstated about how important that is. I would say
that is a good piece of advice for people who might come after you right there. That's helpful. I'll stop. Let me give you a chance. This is supposed to work both ways, Danny said. So here's your chance. Anything you want to ask of the professor who's been asking you questions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's okay to put you on the spot to speak for all professors, but I've talked to a lot of student athletes. I don't think I've had this experience, but I know other people have, where there's student athletes that think that they don't get a fair shake with professors. And I just wanted to ask, how do professors look at student athletes? Like how do you guys view them? Is it a hassle to have them in your class? Do you have to accommodate for their travels and everything and do extra work for them? And how do you guys look at them in that sense?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking that. I mean, I obviously it varies, but I can say that it is extra work, but it's extra work for the student athlete as well. So it goes both ways. But yeah, as a professor, it is extra work in that you do have to provide. For instance, if y'all are gone, or 2 years ago, you were on the team that made the run to the national championship game. You guys were gone. I don't know, it seemed like the whole spring semester, basically doing stuff. So you do have to provide. But I will say that here, in my experience at Point Loma has been that by and large, I mean, there's always exceptions, but by and large, we try to take care of the student athletes because we try to recognize that they are undertaking something that's extra difficult. They've got an extra layer of stuff on there. And whether it's, seeing a basketball player stumble into class after they got back at 2 a.m. from the night before playing somewhere, or, having a basketball player in class when they had a workout at 5 a.m. or whatever, and then came straight to an 8 a.m. class, so you try to remember these are people and human beings who have an extra layer of difficulty on top of everything else. So there is, in a sense, that this is an accommodation, and we want to try to help them. We expect them to pull their own weight, and I think for the most part our athletes do here at Point Loma. Like, we're not going to let you slide, just be like, oh, sorry, we had a game last night or whatever, but if they're willing to do that, I think we try to work with them as much as possible. And we understand that athletics are a gift of the school. I mean, I think as you get to see it, not only financially, obviously it helps the school financially, but it brings the school together in ways, that it wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
Got another one or no?
I think that was good. That was a good answer. And,
well, I got one last one, then we'll get out of here. So this one's a little more basketball related. Just a chance, if you want to say something to the Sea Lion basketball fans about how you're feeling, and should we be positive? About. I realize you're not in charge of if we play and when and how and all that, but just in terms of the team, I mean, it's been an amazing last couple of years, especially with the national runner-up season, and then last year the conference championship, and what looked like was poised for another pretty exciting postseason run, and then that got cut short. So a lot of excitement for fans, but a lot of waiting. And so, how's the team doing? How are you doing? Positive? What's what?
Yeah. So about the team, I think it's going to be really special again. I think that we can, we don't have any ceilings with our team this year. Like, for me personally, I want to win national championship. I think we can do that. We have an incredibly talented team. We have great guys, great newcomers. Everyone I've talked to so far that's new, I can't wait to get started with them. I can't say enough about just the guys that we have, our coaching staff. Like Coach says, tradition never graduates. It's going to keep being like this for a really long time. Like, Point Loma is going to be a special program, and it is a special program. So on the basketball side of things, when we get out on the court, it's going to be really, really great.
Can't wait.
But yeah, right now it's just about staying patient. So I would say to my teammates, I would say to the students, the fans, whoever, just be patient, because right now we don't know what to expect day to day. Things are changing so much, but in terms of the basketball side of things, I think we got something really great to look forward to, and when we can get it all together and get out there on the court, I think it's going to be just a lot of beautiful basketball.
Awesome. Well, you're a big part of it. It takes what it takes, and there's a little insight into the experience of being a student athlete with our sensational three-point sharpshooter, Ben Okhotin. So thanks for checking us out, everybody, and go Sea Lions.